Three, two, 3, 2, 1. Say you niggas thought I was dead. You niggas thought I was dead. You niggas thought I was dead. These niggas thought I was dead. These niggas thought I was dead. Oh, these niggas thought I was dead. Hey, yo. Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III. I am alive. I'm alive and well. Eric, why was there no pod on Sunday? I'm sorry. For the first and last time listeners, hello. For the first time listeners, y'all don't know the schedule. I post every Wednesday and Sunday. I record every Monday and Friday. Now, y'all probably looking at me and be like, Eric, there was no pod on Sunday. What's going on? What's happening? As you can see by the look, by the cut, by the line, I had to go back home. I had to deal with an emergency back home. So I didn't have no time to record with family, was having good conversations with people, doing a whole bunch of this, that, and the third. I didn't have time to get the record. I had all my equipment with me, though. I had everything with me. I just didn't have the time to record, get things done how I wanted to get things done, get things moving. But guess what? I'm here today, right now, in front of you all, man. This has been a pleasure. Oh my goodness, y'all look so great. Y'all look so beautiful. Y'all look so amazing. If this is your first time watching the Arts Blog Podcast, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post on the podcast. That's on YouTube. If you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. What are we talking about today? We're going to talk about me going back home. We're going to talk about some of the conversations that I've had when I was back home. When it comes to my family and just like being around people, you know, and a lot of things that I've realized and learned from those conversations, not just by the conversations themselves, but just, you know, we'll get to that. We're going to talk about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, of course, because y'all know I stayed up and I watched it. Sorry, I had to take a moment of silence for Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. He's not dead, but damn. Then I found a new app. Well, I didn't find a new app, and the app's not really new, but it's an app and it's jumping, and I want to tell y'all about it being jumping and how amazing black people are. All right, I'm looking at myself through my computer right now. If y'all don't know how I record, good. I'm not going to tell y'all. I ain't giving y'all the sauce, but I look good right now. I hope y'all are looking good and feeling good. I hope y'all are doing all the things right now. But let's just jump straight into it. All right, first thing on the docket. See, I feel like I have a burst of energy when I don't record for a while. It's only been a couple days. Like, it's been a week. I haven't recorded in a week. This is my first time not recording in a week in a minute. Like, I listen. I need this right here. I feel like I haven't talked to my people. I miss talking to my people. Heard me. All right. First thing on the docket. I went back to DC. I had to go to a funeral. R.I.P. Mom Mary. R.I.P. my great grandmother. She's amazing. She is now resting. She is now resting. I was about to say that's not the important part of this conversation. That is a big factor why these conversations even happened when I was away. But her funeral was on Friday, Saturday. So reasonably, I didn't record on Friday, right? But I was going to record on Saturday. I really was planning on recording on Friday. But my aunt ended up coming over. And I don't want to see now people going to think I'm not blaming you, Makisa. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you for why I didn't get a pod out. I know people going to think I'm trying to blame you blaming Matt. Nah, I am not blaming you for why I didn't get a pod out. I'm just saying you came over and me, her, and my father, we were having a good conversation. And a lot of the things that I took away, right, from them, because my Aunt Makisa, she's a creative as well, right? She's a creative and an artist as well. So, but a lot of what I took, and as y'all know, both of my parents are artists. My mom and my dad, both are drummers. But what I took away from that conversation is, as you get older, how does your creativity change and alter as you get older. And it made me realize something, right? Like, not only do young artists need this, but there's a lot of older people. And when I say older, I just mean older than me, right? Because like my age demographic is like who I cater to, right? Like 18 to like 25, that's like my bag. Like if you're watching this 18 to 25, that's like my bag. That's my Duffy, right? But like 26 to like 35 or 35 to 45, I don't really touch base with y'all as much, or I don't really talk in a way that will cater to you guys as much. Right now, there's a lot of you all who love the podcast. I appreciate you, big dog, and I hope you stay, and I hope you tell your friends, and I hope you know there's like a 40/40 Arts Block podcast club. I hope that's a thing in the future. But I don't really look at how new people who are getting in the artistic space at older ages, I don't really get you guys' point of view, because I don't really know your point of view. But talking to my dad and talking to my aunt made me realize a lot of things, right? And some of the things that I realized is, one, there is no age to being able to create things, right? Like, people often, when they get older and they have a dream and it's like an itch, right? Like, they're at a point where they have this dream and it's been itching, and they can't find a way to scratch the itch, right? But they start talking themselves out of it by saying, hey, I'm too old to do X, Y, and Z, or I'm too old to focus on this, that, and the third. But there's really no age on art. Who are we to put an age on creativity, right? If niggas like I'm trying to think of like an old art nigga. Like, if niggas like Robert De Niro, right, who's damn near 80, if he can still be getting roles and doing movies and whatever the case may be, and you're probably thinking like, oh, well, that's Robert De Niro. He started when he was super young. But yeah, but like, just because he started when he was super young, he could have also stopped when he was super young too. Like, he kept going at an older age. Like, don't let age or time define what you want to do and how you love what you want to do. Just do it, right? And I feel like that's easier said than done. But like, you literally just do it. No Nike. And I realized with that conversation, I was like, oh no, like, they're at an age right now where there's a lot of other factors that are in play with their lives, like relationship stuff, family stuff, like other like work things. Like, they might be working I don't want to call it a real job, but y'all know what I mean, like working like a more stable job, and also have this creative itch on the side, right? And these things are true, and I get these things, and I understand these things. But one thing that was put into perspective for me is that, man, like, sometimes when you're so on your corporate grind, that I didn't really understand at first. Like, cause I'm like, oh, well, like, niggas just quit your job. But sometimes when you're so on your corporate grind and you're so on your like, man, this job is paying me $90,000 a year. It has amazing benefits. I don't want to leave this job because it gives me and my family a sense of security that we need. But after I clock out from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 7 to 3, whenever you work, right? When I clock out, I am too exhausted from the workday to even partake in anything creative. Let me try again. I am too exhausted from the workday to even spark up creative interest, to even do anything creatively. Like when they be like, today has drained me, like literally, like working 9 to 5 today has drained me. And it's some days, and I had to put that into perspective, because it's some days where I have class and I have work, or I have work, then I have class, and I be like, man, I don't feel like it today. Like, today is just not the day, and things aren't going to get done today. But guess what? At the same time, you have to realize where you want to be, right? And some people are cool with where they're at. They're cool with having that creative itch, doing that for a little bit of time, but also really doing their main like hustle, like their corporate job or whatever the case may be, right? Some people are okay with that. However, if I have an itch and I know there's something, damn, that's crazy. I said I had an itch and I started scratching. That's crazy. But if I have like something that I want to do and I want to produce and I want to make, and I feel like it's a product that's needed and I feel like it's a good ass product, I'm going to do as much as I can to get, not only get that product out, but to do that product as often, or do that thing as often as I can, because that's the thing that brings me peace, that brings me solace. Like, this isn't just a podcast for me. This is a sense of like, this is therapeutic for me. I get a lot of thoughts out. I get a lot of opinions that you probably won't get out in like a one-on-one setting out. I get a lot of like ideas out on here. So this is more therapeutic for me than it is than like anything else. So I was talking to my mom about my little cousin like yesterday, right? And I don't want to, well, I'm not saying his name, but I don't want to put like his business out there. But like, he's in high school. He's a freshman in high school. And last year or the year before last, I don't know, it's just around this time of year, his behavior starts taking a turn. He's a really great kid though. Really sweet, funny guy, like really smart kid. But it's just around this time, like his attitude takes a turn. But one thing that my mom told me was like, oh, he's in band. So he was like, oh, band ended this year, or band ended like a couple, like the band season is over for this year. So like I'm guessing he's not doing band no more. And I guess like when the band season ended, that's when the behavior started changing. I'm guessing this is from the conversation I had with my mom. I'm just assuming. But my thought is like, oh, that's easy to pinpoint where the behavioral issues might be coming from, because you're not doing something that you like. You're just doing something that you don't like all the time. And now you aren't making any room for what you like. So now you have no other option to lash out, because creatively, that was your way of, that was your calm, that was your peace, that was your solace. But now you're not doing that because band is over. Then yeah, you don't know what to do with this extra energy, and this extra energy isn't going to like another club, and you're not using it at home. So like you really don't have nothing else to do. So, and like what is it? Idle hands leads to like devious, like the idle hands, like at least a devious activity. I took a sociology of deviance class last year, and my teacher would tell us like when you're idle, that like being idle tends to lead to more deviance. Like you tend to do more bad things, quote unquote, or like things you probably shouldn't be doing when you don't have nothing to do. So I say that to say, like, I manage the things that like I don't like doing. For example, I don't like going to school. Like I don't like college. I don't like going to school. I'm grateful that I get to go though. I don't want to like mistake the two. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I get to go to college, because there's a lot of people that would love to be in my position to go to college. That doesn't mean I like going to college. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to go. But me doing things like the podcast and the radio show and like running the podcast lab at my school, those outweigh what I don't like. So I'm willing to do what I don't like just to get to what I do like, right? And a lot of y'all are like sad at your jobs. Y'all don't want to be working. Y'all rather be doing this creative thing, but y'all aren't doing it though. Like y'all are sitting here and be like, man, I wish I could be doing this. Like, I wish I can be doing this full time, and you're not even doing it part time. So how are you expecting to do something full time and you're not even giving a part time effort to something that you want to do full time? Like you're not even putting a part time effort in. That's all I'm asking for. I'm just asking for part time effort. Same thing with my little cousin. Like he's starting to act up because he's doing things that he doesn't like what he likes to do. The season's over. at this point, right? And it's the same thing with athletes. It's the same thing with like singers. It's the same thing with actors. When you're not shooting, when you're not making music, when you're not doing all these things, right? When you're not training, when you're not in games, when you're not at practice, when your quote unquote season is over, even though creatively we don't like have a season, but we have seasons. Don't let that go over your head. We don't have a season, but we have seasons. Don't let that don't duck too hard on that one. Let that hit you. Yeah, like we can't afford to not do what we like to do, because then like if it makes us fall into like different patterns of like depression, and it makes us fall into different patterns of anxiety, and it makes us fall into like different ruts. Like we can't afford to not do what we like to do as creatives, as artists, right? Now, some people who just might have great ideas. There's a lot of people who have great ideas. That doesn't make you an artist or a creative. That just makes you a nigga that has great ideas. What makes you an artist or a creative is you having a great idea and not being like, oh, that was a good idea, but being like, nah, that's a good idea. Oh, snap. How can we do this? How can we do this? How can we expand on this idea, right? That's what makes you that. That's what makes you that guy, that girl in that field, or whatever the case may be, right? Is the fact that you can have an idea and act on the idea, right? But a lot of people are having ideas and they're using their action time scrolling on social media, just not doing things that are productive. Like not doing things that could be productive for them or their brand, right? Instead of searching up, like, listen, we're on our phones all day, right? I have this idea, and instead of like scrolling on social media on my phone, what I'm doing now is looking at things that can help me with this idea, doing research, doing like neurological research on the idea that I have and that I want to do, right? These are the things that I'm doing just because I am serious about the execution part. I preach this all the time on the podcast. If you've been listening to the pod for a while, I talk about execution all the time because that's the most important thing. Every nigga has an idea. Everybody has ideas, nigga. You are not, I hate to say this, but you are not special for having an idea, nigga. Congratulations. Welcome to the club of the other 100 million billion people that have ideas every single day. Like, congratulations. But what separates you and the other people is not the fact that you have an idea. It's the fact that you do the idea. Because that's the shocking part. You know what's crazy? My family, and this segues me to another point that I wanted to talk about. My family tells me that they're proud of me all the time. Like every time I see my family, they be like, oh man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for doing what you're doing. You're doing great things. I'm so proud of you. Not thinking about all the things that I'm doing and have done. I'm currently still on the radio in DC on 95.5 with my drops. I got a big opportunity coming this summer. I'm doing a pod. I got my own radio show in New York. I'm doing well in school and college. Back home, I interviewed the mayor. I interviewed council members. I've done a whole bunch of things, right? So when they're saying they're proud of me, they're coming from a different perspective of like, oh, nah, this kid is doing a lot, right? However, when I hear people say they're proud of me or they're glad, like they're proud of the work that I'm doing, I'm thinking in the sense of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you're proud of me of what I'm supposed to be doing, and if you're proud of me for like this little stuff that's happening now, and I don't want to diminish it because it's not little, it's big opportunities that I'm getting, but they're small in comparison to where my mind is going. So if you're proud of me for this now, then just imagine for what you're going to be proud of me for in the next couple months or the next year or the next 2 years. Just imagine. Like my family be like, oh man, I'm so proud of you. And I'd be like, listen, I'd be like, yo, like that's crazy. Cause like I am literally just getting started. This is just the start of something. And I heard that a lot this go around, like, oh man, I'm so proud of you. Like you're doing so great. I'm so proud of you. I see what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. X, Y, and Z. And I appreciate that in a sense of like, okay, like I am doing the right thing. And like, okay, I am doing a good thing. But also I'm looking at it like, man, like I am so much more than what y'all are proud of me for right now. Like it's so much more in the chamber. excuse me, it's so much more in the chamber, so much more that I can do. And this is so small compared to where the bigger picture is going to be. I don't know why I went there, but excuse me, Jesus. I don't know why I went there, but my mind just went there. I don't know why, but I just did. So yeah, like that conversation, shout out to my dad and shout out to my aunt Makiza again, because like that conversation gave me a lot of insight on how I can navigate to an older audience now and how I can talk to an older audience while also being relatable and to my younger audience that I have now, right? And how I can kind of manage both and how I can like execute growth. My Amakiza said I was a very good listener, and I think that's one of my biggest strengths. I also think that came from my other great grandmother, R.I.P. Nina, that's my mom's grandmother. Her always telling me to stay out of grown folks' business, but I didn't have nowhere else to go, so I would just sit and listen and not say anything and just like listen to everybody's conversations and like form my own opinions on the conversations that were being had. So I think that's what it is. Like I'm just able to sit, listen to a conversation, dissect the conversation in many different ways, learn about people through the conversations I have with people, and then from there, like just like pew, like you feel me? You feel me? Pew, I'm out of there. Sky high, sky high. Next thing on the docket. It's been a long day without you, my friend. I'ma tell you all about it when I see you again. It's been a long day, Mike, where you've been. I'ma ask you all about it if I see you again. If I see you again. Mike, what happened, Mike? Mike, what happened? Mike, listen, Kamala and Mike Tyson losing in the span of less than 2 weeks was not on my bingo card for 2024. And honestly, that was a lot. Honestly, if I can I be honest? Can I keep it a buck? That was a lot for me. That was a lot for the culture. The culture is not looking good right now. We're not looking good. We're not looking the best. And it doesn't help that my father asked me, when did the pop the balloon videos become so popular? We are straying. We are straying, Father. We are straying, and you are the only one that can lead us back on track. Mike, I know you got a good 20 mil. Well, before I even get into the fight, first and foremost, shout out Netflix for putting on an amazing shout out Netflix and MVP Promotions for putting on an amazing event. I know Netflix had like a little buffering issue, but I'm going to give them I'm going to give them some grace because this is their first live stream. This is their first ever live stream. They probably like usually to save cost, right? They usually undermine the impact of what something's going to have, so they won't have to spend extra money on something that they like already that are doing, right? So I say that to say like the servers that Netflix had, they probably wasn't thinking about, oh, let's buy like extended space or however the fuck servers work, right? Let's make more of these or whatever so that more people can fit on this server and watch the fight. But instead there was a lot of buffering and stuff. But these are just all things that they will have to learn. They have a Christmas Day games coming up for football. Like these are just things that they have to get used to. They have the WWE in 2025. I think this was a good start for knowing what the streaming could be and knowing like what they can do and can't do. But I feel like they did a pretty good job. I would have loved a live chat. If a live chat would have been possible, I feel like that would have been dope. But hey, I'm not one to complain. I'm not one to like ask of too much. And also like just like the quality of everything. Like there were screens everywhere. My dad was talking about, man, like ain't no pay-per-view, ain't no HBO or Showtime. They don't got like the electronic like joints on the turnbuckle that show you the rounds and the time and counts down. And I was like, they don't. Netflix is doing something innovative. Netflix is doing something new and different, and I'm all for new and different. Like, I will never be against doing something new and doing something different. And Netflix sure is doing that. And I salute to Netflix. Shout out to you. The fight before the Jake Paul fight, the jump with the girls, was the best fight of the night. They was throwing. They wasn't doing no. There was no dodging, there was no blocking, there was nothing. It was like, y'all know those boxing jumps where they like, where one person put their foot in the tire and another person puts one foot in the tire and they just like throw body shots at each other. It looked like that. It looked like they was just toe to toe, just foul, just all straight haymakers, straight hands, no nothing. The girl that lost, that had the big cut in her eye and her eye was like hanging like this, she should have won though. Because the other girl kept headbutting. I think her name was Katie Taylor or something like that. Yeah, Katie, you need to get that headbutt. You need to get that headbutting together, girl. You need to get that together. Because that's not cool. You going all here with the headbutting. You need to chill. You need to chill. You need to calm down. Boxing is about D's, not D's. And you got a big head. And from what it looks like, you got a hard head too. Because you kept hitting her in that same spot and that cut kept getting deeper. You landed significantly less punches than Shorty. But all of a sudden, you just over here, headbutting. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna need a rematch on that. I'm gonna need a rematch on that. Because other Shorty definitely should have won. She definitely should have won, and I'm going to need a rematch on that. But that was a good fight. The Jake and Mike Tyson fight, now I know Mike Tyson had a big health scare earlier, like a couple months ago. He had a big health scare. Also, Mike Tyson is 58 years old. Also, Jake Paul is 27 years old. Mike Tyson looked like he was in great shape for this fight. However, Mike Tyson also looked like he was just a 58-year-old man in good shape. He couldn't move. His feet looked like he was hurting. He was biting his glove. Like nigga, bite his ear or something. You biting his glove. Bite the nigga ear. Like, what are you doing? You biting the, like, Mike, lock in. And I wasn't really expecting much from Mike. I was just expecting more. I just wasn't expecting that. And also, they was in 14-ounce gloves instead of the regular. No, I think they was in 6. Was they in 14 or 16? I think it was in 14-ounce gloves instead of like the standard 10-ounce gloves. It's a lot that transpired during this fight that I personally don't agree with. But hey, you can't change the results of the fight. Jake was the better man. But also Jake didn't look that great either. Like, he was like, I expected you as 27 with Mike Tyson, you dancing around him, you working the jab, you working the jab, you working the jab, you throwing like, but like, you know, you was flat-footed, you wasn't moving that well, you was just like at the same pace that Mike was at. Nigga, if you don't, man, you was talking all that talk just to get in there and just give Mike some love taps. What is going on today? What is going on? What was going on? I was so disappointed. I stayed up. I'm glad I ain't had to pay for it. I'm so glad I ain't had to pay for it. Cause like I stayed up, watched all these undercard fights just for the main event to be trash. I was highly disappointed. Mike wasn't throwing no punches, but at the same time, by the time he looked like he could get to Jake was moving out the way. Like, Mike looked fast and slow at the same time. Like he looked super fast, but he also looked slow as hell. I was confused. I was like, Mike, like, you got to choose one, Mike. And in your training videos, you was moving all like Mike was moving he was moving 10 feet in less than a second. Like, Mike was moving fast as hell in them little training videos. Mike, where was that, Mike? Mike, where was that? What, when you was doing that in the training videos? What was, now I know it's different when somebody's throwing punches back at you. It's different. But Mike, where was that? When you was like, it's day 3, Jake. Do you still want to fuck with me? Like I was looking for that. Like those videos, I was looking for that, Mike. You wasn't doing none of that, Mike. Mike. Somebody needed to put the little orthopedic joints in Mike's shoes. You can tell Mike's feet hurt, though. You can tell by the way Mike was moving, his feet hurt. Y'all need to get Mike the little orthopedic foot joints, and y'all need to get him a good foot massage doctor person, because if he talking about fighting again, they was like, Mike, are you gonna get in the ring again? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in the ring again. I think I'm gonna get in the ring with his brother. Mike, you're not getting in the Mike. No, Mike. I think I'm gonna get in the ring with his brother. I think his brother's gonna be next. No, Mike, his brother's not gonna be next. Mike, no. Leave them Paul niggas alone, Mike. Fight. It needs to be a 50 and over boxing league. Like there needs, like, you know how they got the 50 and over basketball league. There needs to be a 50 and over boxing league. Like Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones Jr., all you 50-year-old niggas that want to still box. Why do you want to still box at 50? I have no idea. But to each his own, brother. If that's what you want to do and that's what you want to get into, that's how you feeling, by all means, join the 50 and over boxing club. We meet every Saturday in the church basement, and you can go ahead and get popping. But if you're not a part of, but you can't be fighting people half your age, Mike. You can be that nigga daddy. You can be that nigga dad. You can be his dad. Mike, Mike, that wasn't it, brother. And I'm mad that went on your record. Now Jake Paul can say that he beat you. And Jake Paul, did you really beat him though? Like, I mean, you did, but did you really win? Like, at what cost did this happen? Like, let's really talk about it. At what cost did you beat him? You that was elder abuse. You should have went to jail, not gonna lie. And I'm also not gonna lie, like, you took it a little too far. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you wasn't doing enough, but at the same time, you took it a little too far. That's a 58-year-old man. Fight some nigga your own age. He don't even gotta be your own size. Fight some nigga. Fight another 27-year-old. I want to see you fight another 27-year-old. That's what I want to see. 28-year-old, whatever. I want to see you fight them. Then I'll give you your respect. I will. Once I see you fight somebody your weight, your size, and is a boxer, I mean your age, your size, and is a boxer, I'll give you your credit. I'll give you your credit as a real boxer. And you beat them. I'll give you your credit as a real boxer. But this, you'll be a 58 sickly old man. Nah, I'm not giving you that, brother. I'm not giving you that. And Mike, all respect to you, Iron Mike, because guess what? You'll still beat me up. I ain't getting in the ring with you. Hell nah, I'm not doing that. You'll tear me to smithereens, brother. Last thing on the docket, man, listen, I'm on this new app, y'all. It's called Blue Sky. Man, when I tell you I'm not getting no promotion from this, I'm not getting no money from this, but when I tell you this app is a breath of fresh air, it's like Twitter if Elon never bought it. It feels amazing. There's no ads, there's no bots, there's just real niggas just talking. And I am always good for real nigga conversations. There's something called Black Sky, right? It's like Black Twitter. But then you got something called Black Sky, where all black people, they get together, they congregate. We get together, we talk. It's community. We have fun. It's nice over there. It's peaceful over there. Twitter's not peaceful. Twitter's not a safe space. I'm where the safe spaces are now. Do I feel like I'm better than you? Yes, I do. I'm not gonna lie. If you're still on Twitter, still using Twitter, do I feel like I'm better than you because I'm on the skyline? That's what we call it, by the way, the skyline. Yes, I do. I feel like I'm better than you because I'm on the skyline. But hey, no judgment here. To each his own. But hey, that's the vibes. That's the vibes that I'm on. You know, the first day, I used to never post on Twitter. The first day I was on Blue Sky, the first day I made 15 posts. I'm about to hit 100 posts. I've been on the app for 2 days. I'm about to hit 100 posts. Y'all, this is the greatest thing ever. If y'all not on Blue Sky, if you're still on Twitter and you haven't made the transition over, go ahead and make the transition over. Now, there is a maturity level to get on the app. You don't have to be the age, but you have to act like, brother, you can't be on there talking about tomfoolery. This is a mature app with grown people on it. Don't be over here being like, Eric told me to get on here. I didn't tell y'all to do nothing. All you tomfooleries, all you people that like to troll and all that, stay over on the other app. Don't come over on this side ruining the happiness and the peace that we have going on over here. If you're not coming in with happiness and peace and just good vibes, then I need you to stay over on that other app. Keep the negativity over there. Don't bring the negativity over here. Keep the negativity over there. We don't need it over here. And white people, stay out of black sky. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I've been your host, Eric Curry III. Before I get on out of here, I'm going to give y'all my Dead or Alive. Now, if this is your first time watching the Arts Block Podcast, hello. If this is your last time, goodbye. But Dead or Alive is a segment on the podcast where me or the artist gets to choose other artists that we would like to work with that is Dead or Alive. We can choose one artist. We can choose 100 artists. This is my pod. I'm going to do whatever I want. Who I want to work with is odd. It's weird. This is my first time saying this, but I would love to like eventually like work with my parents on something like when I'm older and like when they're older. I would love to do something with my parents. I know that's weird. I know they're watching. But yeah, I think so. I think that would be like super dope. I could be able to like work with my parents on something. And thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. That is ERICCURRYIII. You can follow the podcast at Arts Block Podcast. If you are tuned in on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast that you have ever watched in your life, and that will suffice. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time I post a pod. Did I say that already? I don't know. If I said it already, oh well. Just a quick reminder, just so it can get engraved in the skull. You feel me? Remember that artists never die. Remember that I love you, God loves you. Do something that you love every single day. Do it with meaning, do it with purpose, do it well, do it wonderful, do it lovely. I'ma see y'all when I see y'all, boys. This might be my last pod setup like this. Yeah, I'm getting things hung up on my wall, so I want y'all to see that. So I'm like gonna be able to I'm gonna change my position in a little bit, but I will keep y'all updated on that. And my next couple of pods will be at home. We'll be back in DC because I will be there for Thanksgiving break. So if you're in the city and you want to say what's up, see y'all when I see y'all, boys. I am Audi 5000. Peace.